I'm going to keep working on my egg shape, making sure it's symmetrical, a little more pointy at the top. The outside edges of your rib cage should just about cross halfway side to side in each square. So that's how you know how wide your rib cage will be. Okay, so this bottom part is actually the back of the rib cage. What happens in the front is you can feel where your sternum ends and your soft stomach begins. There's a little indentation, and that is the bottom of the rib cage. And it's going to happen 1/3 down into row number 3. And what happens is your rib cage is higher here and it dips down lower on the outside. So I'm going to dip down here. So it's like a little hill shape. And that's going to show the front and the back of the rib cage. Now let's go back up and put the shoulders in. The shoulder is a ball and socket joint, so we're going to represent that joint with a simple circle. And each of those shoulder joints is going to have the bottom end of it be halfway down head number 2. So halfway down on each side is going to be the bottom, and I'm going to put a little circle there. So that represents my shoulder, and here's another one over here. And let's make them the same size. This one got a little big. Take off the edges. And what happens with the shoulders is they connect to your sternum. So the clavicle or the collarbone is going to extend from this point here to the top of each shoulder. And when you put both of those clavicles in, you'll get a little bit of a V shape. The next landmark we have is actually the belly button. So right here in between 3 and 4 heads is our belly button. And what lines up with the belly button is the elbows. So we're going to draw another circle representing each elbow, and it's going to be just slightly further to the right than our shoulders were, because we want to leave room for the hips. And then to represent the bone, we can draw a straight line connecting the shoulder to the arm. The next landmark moving downwards is going to be the midpoint on your figure. So 4 heads down, everybody's center point is the crotch or the bottom of the pubic bone. So right here, you are going to draw an oval that sits horizontally. And that oval is going to hit the bottom of 4 heads, but it's not going to come all the way to the top of 4 heads. Once you have that oval, you're actually going to turn it into a heart shape by dipping it down in the center and then back up, and this is going to accurately represent the shape of the human pelvis. So if you've ever seen a skeleton, they have these large protruding hip bones. So I'm going to erase out the back of this. Got my little jelly bean shape now. And then your pelvis is actually more like a bowl, and it slightly tips forwards on every person. So I'm just going to add one more line here that dips down and creates the illusion of a 3D bowl shape.